Well, it is Red Sox and Yankees. Here we go again from Yankee Stadium for the first time in 2007. The Yankees have taken the field as we check out the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by New England Dodge Dealers. Julio Lugo leads it off at shortstop with Kevin Youkilis at first base. Big Papi David Ortiz, a designated hitter. Manny Ramirez in left field. J.D. Drew in right field. Mike Lowell at third base. Jason Varitek, the captain, does the catching. Coco Crisp back in there tonight for the Red Sox in center field, batting eighth. Dustin Pedroia bats ninth at second base. The starting pitchers are brought to you by Panasonic, and on the mound tonight for New York is Andy Pettitte.
This will be the fifth start of the season, the seventh appearance for Andy Pettitte. 1-0, that win coming against the Minnesota Twins. Of course, last week against the Red Sox, pitched very well. 6 1/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, and a couple of earned runs. When he left that ball game, it was a 5-2 score, but the Red Sox won it 7-6. He also pitched in relief in that series. The pitching was so devastated at Fenway Park that Pettitte came in for an inning on the 22nd. Lifetime against the Red Sox, 13-5. That's in 22 starts. The Yankee defense is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. They're 12th in the league with 17 errors in 20 games. Alex Rodriguez at third base, Derek Jeter the shortstop, Robinson Cano at second, and Doug Mankiewicz at first. Left to right, Hideki Matsui, Johnny Damon, and Bobby Abreu, and Jorge Posada back behind the plate for Andy Pettitte.
Umpiring crew, Brian Runge has a plate tonight for the men in black tonight. Bruce Fremming at first base, Rob Drake at second, and Mike Winters, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Andy Pettitte ready to work with the game's first pitch. And Julio Lugo takes strike one. Lugo starts tonight hitting at .234, no homers and 5 runs batted in. Another strike, this time on the outside corner.
Two different types of fastballs from Pettitte. The straight fastball, the cut fastball, which is his best pitch. Curveball and a changeup.
Lugo chops it towards Jeter, charging. The throw off balance and in time. Dug out at first base by Mankiewicz.
That didn't take very long for Andy Pettitte. Gets ahead of Julio Lugo, goes to the cut fastball, and gets the ground ball to shortstop in Derek Jeter. Jeter playing it with both the glove and the hand. The throw's a little bit off, but Mankiewicz, as we know, a very good defensive first baseman, makes the play for him.
One down for Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis taking ball one from Pettitte. As Youkilis 5 for his last 12 of the last 3 games. Overall hitting at .274 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Against lefties, he's hit at just .188 so far this season. As he starts off ahead of Pettitte now, 2-0. The Red Sox are 14-7 and have the best winning percentage in the major leagues. They start tonight at .667. They've increased their lead in the American League East to 3 games with yesterday's victory over the Baltimore Orioles. It's the largest advantage since the 3.5-game lead in July of last season. And the earliest lead the Red Sox have had since 1995. After the very good start. Ball 3, and it's 3-1 now to Youkilis.
Well, about 12 o'clock this afternoon, I didn't think we'd be playing this game tonight. It was really raining hard in New York City, but it had stopped, and just kind of a dank night here at the stadium.
Runs it inside, ball 4, and Youkilis down to first base with a 1-out walk. The Red Sox have the first base runner of the night. There's a look at that raw evening, and right now it's just overcast, thankfully. But it is on the cool side, and there is a chance for further precipitation tonight. But it was raining very hard throughout the day here in New York, and teams were able to take batting practice on the field. Didn't look like they were going to be able to, but the rain finally stopped. They were able to take batting practice and prepare normally on the field. Ortiz at .287, 6 homers and 19 runs batted in.
We mentioned it last week in Boston when Pettit was pitching, and we'll mention it again tonight. You have to be very careful at first base because Pettit has one of the best pickoff moves in all of baseball.
The strike, and it's 0-2 to Big Papi. Andy Pettit, his second stint with the New York Yankees. First time in between spent in Houston. Ortiz with pretty good numbers against the lefty. The ball and 2 strikes now to Big Papi.
He's very strange, but it's it's only April, but there is a sense of urgency here in the Bronx with the Yankees. Not playing good baseball, not getting good pitching.
Well, the Yankees have lost 6 in a row. They were shut out for the first time this season yesterday against Toronto. Ortiz swings and misses and strikes out. The first K of the game for Andy Pettit.
Once again, it looks like the cut fastball from Andy Pettit to pick up the strikeout. Andy Pettit has made a career on that pitch.
So 2 away, and it brings up Manny. Manny 1 for his last 16. And batting still under 200 at 192. Seems so strange to see that batting average. 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. Started all 22 games now in left field for the Red Sox so far this season. Has not had a day off. Well, the Yankees having lost 6 games in a row coming into this series. Losing last night, the major league debut of their young 20-year-old Philip Hughes, who started here last night. They did not pitch terribly, but a 6-0 win for Toronto. It has been a tough go of it for Joe Torre. As we mentioned off the top, I think their starting rotation was a bit questionable coming into the season. But you take away a couple of those guys and it is less than questionable. It's not been good. And questions about where Kagawa will end up and whether or not he'll end up back in the minor league soon. One of the guys that they brought on as a big free agent signing during the offseason, who has been less than effective and for the moment has been taken out of the rotation by Joe Torre. Here's Kagawa. I think he's paying much less than what the Red Sox had to pay for Daisuke, but so far the results have been much less as well. A strike, and it's 3-1 now to Manning. J.D. Drew waiting on deck. With 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. The center field in for a hit. Youkilis up to second base. On the single for Manny Ramirez, who had been just 1 for his last 16, but's got a base hit to begin tonight.
Yeah, but he's been swinging the bat much better over the last 2-3 games. You know, he got robbed of a home run in Baltimore, and of course, one way to get hot is against a guy that you've had great success against. And of course, Manny has had tremendous success against Andy Pettit. Takes the 3-1 fastball, shoots it up the middle for the base hit.
So a chance here for the Red Sox in the first inning with runners at first and second and J.D. Drew. 314, 2 homers and 8 runs batted in for Drew. Swing and a miss as Posada was coming out of the crouch to grab that one. The key matchup is brought to you by Killian's, and for J.D. Drew, he's 6 for 11 against Andy Pettit. Of course, having the chance to face him over the last couple of years as Pettit pitching for the Houston Astros. Pettit last year 14-13 with a 4.20 ERA in 36 appearances. Last year for the Astros. One hopper knocked down the chest of Mankiewicz. He retires Drew, and the Red Sox are gone. They strand a pair. Yankees coming up, and Daisuke will take the hill for the first time at Yankee Stadium. Sox don't score in the top of the first inning. Panasonic brings you the starting pitcher, and tonight for the Red Sox, it's Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Start number 5 for Daisuke, 2-2 on the season, 31 strikeouts in 27 innings at 25 hits allowed. Opponents hitting .248 against Matsuzaka. You see the game Sunday where he did pick up the win against the Yankees, but that's the most runs and hits he's given up in a game so far this season.
Inside to Johnny Damon for ball 1.
And for our friends back in Japan, Nippon no Minisama, Ohio gozaimasu. And I hope that means everybody in Japan good morning.
Johnny's settling himself in here as Daisuke settles himself in on the Yankee Stadium mound for the very first time. Damon sends it foul, and it's 1-1. Johnny 0 for 3 in last night's loss to Toronto. He has just 2 hits in his last 21 at bats. We had a chance to visit with him on the way into the ballpark today, arriving at the same time.
Yeah, I got one of those man hugs that I didn't know how to handle.
I thought you handled it very well. You went right first, which is always the way to go. Waves at that pitch, fooled, and it's 1-2.
Change up from Matsuzaka to quickly get ahead of Damon, 1-2. We've seen more change-ups from Daisuke than we have split-fingered fastballs. That's the gyro ball there. That tumbling effect on the change-up.
Strike 3 call. Damon is rung up as he looks back at Brian Runge.
Daisuke had 7 strikeouts last time he faced the Yankees. It's a cut fastball from Matsuzaka. Damon thought it was inside and low, and he may have had a beef.
Might have been both. So 1 down, and it brings up Derek Jeter. Jeter at .316 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. He's hit safely in 14 straight games and 17 of the last 18 games to begin the season. And Derek Jeter able to homer off Daisuke Matsuzaka on Sunday in the final game of the series, and the sweep for the Red Sox. You mentioned Daisuke was touched for a total of 6 runs in that outing over 7 innings. But Jerry, I think you'll agree, the most formidable and maybe the strongest lineup he'll face all year.
Yeah, and it's better tonight because it has Posada and Matsui in it.
To left center field, in for a hit. Over is Crisp. And Jeter extends the hitting streak now to 15 straight games. Let's check out the rest of the New York lineup, brought to you by Rico. Bobby Abreu in right field. Alex Rodriguez at third base. Jason Giambi, the designated hitter. Hideki Matsui back in there for New York. In left, Jorge Posada doing the catching. Robinson Cano at second base, and Doug Mankiewicz at first. Bats 9th.
Well, a slider from Daisuke Matsuzaka right out over the plate, and Derek Jeter picks up the base hit up the middle. So Jeter has now faced him 4 times. He has 2 hits, including the home run.
Bobby Abreu, the batter. Abreu hitting at .278 so far in the season, with a home run and 13 runs batted in.
Much has been made how Matsuzaka is not as good out of the stretch position. Most pitchers are not as good as they are out of the windup, but sometimes out of the stretch it takes a little bit off the fastball. He does not have the deception of the windup where he kind of hesitates and can throw some hitters off with that.
Abreu taking the strike, and it's 1-2. Last year, he led all major leaguers with 124 base on balls. He's now reached the 100 walk plateau in 8 consecutive seasons, beginning in 1999. Count of 1-2 to Abreu. Waves at that pitch, completely fooled, and he strikes out. 2 Ks in the inning so far for Daisuke.
Now that looks like the changeup again from Matsuzaka. He's thrown a couple of dandies in this game so far. It's a very strange changeup because it's directly over the top, and he kind of turns his wrists over, which makes that ball tumble down and away from the left-handed hitter.
Two down for Alex Rodriguez, and what a start it has been for A-Rod. 378, 14 homers, 34 runs batted in as he dribbles one down the third baseline. Lowell barehands and throws. In time, they got him. Nice play by Mike Lowell to get A-Rod. Done with one, no score from the stadium. Top half of the third inning back at Yankee Stadium. Red Sox and the Yankees are scoreless. Andy Pettitte back on the mound. He's thrown 36 pitches for the first 2 innings as Julio Lugo leads it off for Boston.
I would like to say hello to Basil Matacek. His son does the audio for our broadcast. Basil's a big fan of the Red Sox from Rocky Hill, Connecticut.
Ball outside from Pettitte, and it's 1-1 now to Lugo. Second time through now for Andy Pettitte through the Red Sox order. Boston able to get 2 hits against him first time through. Ramirez and Crisp both with singles. The short right fading fast and in for a hit. Let's check back in with Tina Cervasio.
Here is a little message for just the kids. It's time for the 4th annual Sunwise with Shade poster contest. It's for kids all around the country. And yesterday in Baltimore, I talked to Shade Foundation founder Shonda Schilling about what she wants kids to get out of this contest.
Trying to make it a learned behavior for the kids. So I use an example of, when we were younger and our parents smoked, it was the go back and agitate them to stop. And that's what these kids are doing. They're going home and they're getting ready to go out to the pool and they go, Mom, you forgot my sunblock. So they're big sponges at this point, and I can change the behavior. We can change the behavior of the kids, and it's just going to be something that in 20 years they're going to say, we didn't wear sunblock back then.
Kids are asked to design a sun safety themed poster, and the posters must be sent to Shade Foundation to postmark by May 10th. Kids all over the country are eligible. You can get more info at shadefoundation.org, and New England State winners will get an opportunity to meet Curt Schilling. Don?
Okay, Tina. Julio Lugo has led off the inning with a single, and Youkilis now batting with a count of 2-0. Posada heading out to talk to Pettitte. Boston Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by Play Auto, Olympia Sports, the official sporting goods retailer of the New England Sports Network, and by Dunkin' Donuts. First time tonight, the Red Sox have had the lead runner on against Andy Pettitte. They do in Julio Lugo.
6 steals for Lugo has not been caught yet. And everything this inning so far from Pettitte has been up in the zone. The base hit by Lugo was on a high pitch.
And it gets a new baseball from home plate umpire Brian Runge. Youkilis walking his first time up. The only walk tonight allowed by either starter. A strike, and it's now 3-1 to Youkilis.
I'd have to say, with the Yankee staff the way it is right now, I would think they have the most confidence when Andy Pettitte goes to the mound. He's pitched very well for him so far this season. Gave him a good game at Fenway last week.
He's made the most starts so far. Ron Guidry and Joe Torre. Youkilis drives one to deep left down the line, and it is gone. A 2-run home run for Kevin Youkilis, his second home run of the year, and the Red Sox strike first. They head on top 2-0.
Well, Kevin Youkilis has been hot, and he stays hot. A walk back in the first inning. Now he gets the cut fastball from Pettitte and takes it right down that left field line for his second home run of the year. The second given up by Pettitte this season.
The other home run was Jason Varitek's, as standing in is David Ortiz take a strike over the outside corner. So the Red Sox on a 2-run home run by Youkilis draw first blood on top 2-0.
One more look at the pitch to Kevin Youkilis that he hit to left field for the home run. Posada setting up inside, wants it down. It's a cut fastball, but it doesn't go down. It stays right about thigh high. And Youkilis gives the Red Sox the 2-0 lead.
Ortiz after the 0-2. Cano deep at second base, throws to first for the out.
One of the rare times you did not see the shift on David Ortiz. He had Jeter playing him to pull, but on the left side of the infield, Cano ends up making that play. That's normally in a spot where that shortstop makes the play because he's pulled over.
One down for Manny. His single to center field his first time up. We're talking about the Yankees pitching and how many problems they've had. They've already had 3 starting pitchers make their major league debuts in the first 20 games of the season. Kayagawa, Chase Wright, Phil Hughes. The last time they had 3 starters make their debut this early in the season, you got to go back to 1955, when the St. Louis Cardinals did it in their first 13 games. It has been a tough stretch. The Yankees have used 9 different starters. And Pettit has certainly been the most consistent so far for Joe Torre. Ball, and it's 1-2 now to Manning. Here are the numbers and the 9 different starters for New York. And the number of starts they've made, Pettit at the top of the list with 5. And they just got Wong back.
A lot of those guys probably belong in the minor leagues. Not ready for the prime time yet.
The 50th pitch for Pettit is slowly grounded to Jeter, off balance and dug out at first by Minkiewicz. 2 down.
Before the new Spider-Man swings into a theater near you, he's spinning his way into Sunday's Boston Globe. Just pick up this Sunday's Globe for a free poster of the one, the only Spider-Man. That's this Sunday, April 29th, only in the Boston Globe.
Two down for J.D. Drew. Grounded out to first base, his first time up. With all the starters and starters not pitching well for the Yankees relievers lead all the major league teams with 83 combined relief appearances with the first 20 games of the season. The Yankees are only the 2nd team in the last 19 seasons to go this far into a season without recording a save, which is truly remarkable. And off the top, as we talked about Rivera's problems, and Mike Myers has had problems of his own, giving up a grand slam to Carl Crawford and having all kinds of problems getting lefties out. And Mike Myers is here for one reason only, and that's to get lefties out.
Well, I mean, it was so bad last weekend in Boston that they had to bring Pettit in to pitch an inning on a day that he would normally throw on the side.
He's made 2 relief appearances.
And so that's, that's very rare for this time of season. And as far as Rivera goes, I mean, he has not been able to get into a groove because he's hardly pitched. The Yankees haven't been in a lot of situations to save games. Of course, he blew the one in Boston. He's blown a couple this year. But the fact is, those guys got to get out there consistently.
A drive to right for Drew, but Abreu moves over and makes the catch that ends the inning. There was a drive earlier. It was a 2-run home run for Youkilis. Boston on top.
Dick Ebersol, Susan St. James here at the ball game tonight. Let's say a dedication to their field last season in Boston under their son's Teddy's name.
Only Ted ever saw Red Sox fields, and in a great spot.
Susan's a Red Sox fan. I think Dick's a Yankee fan.
And of course, their son Teddy was a great Red Sox fan. Yes, they check it first, and Bruce Fleming says that A-Rod did not go around. And as I'm looking at this rotation, this means Bruce Fleming will have the plate tomorrow. How many times do you think he'll get hit with foul balls?
I don't know, but I'll be watching it on TV. I hope it's not early. It puts him in a foul mood.
The ball and a strike to A-Rod. And fouled off to our right. And truly a remarkable start to this season for Alex Rodriguez. He tied Albert Pujols for the Major League record for home runs in the month of April. With 34 RBIs, he was one shy of Juan Gonzalez's Major League record for most RBIs in April, 35. Gonzalez had 35 back in 1998. Outside, and it's 2-2.
We mentioned last week A-Rod not as high a leg kick this year as he's had in the past. Much better balance at the plate, seeing the ball better, and not afraid to use the opposite field.
To begin the year, I think most thought that at the end of this year, this would be it. For Alex Rodriguez has the out clause in his contract, that option that he possesses. But reading some of the comments lately that he has had for a lot of the Yankee beat writers, that he would like to hang around, which I think surprised some folks.
Well, you know what? Let's wait and see what happens. If the Yankees get to postseason play, what kind of postseason will he have? And if it is a good one, then maybe he stays. Another bad one, see you later.
So you think the ending will dictate whether or not he stays?
I really do.
Well, it's been a great beginning.
Daisuke trying to go inside with the fastball just off the inside corner. Clearly not a strike.
Now, this is largely the reason that a lot of Yankees fans have not really embraced him as a Yankee. 4 for 41 in the postseason, and as any Yankee fan will tell you, it only matters in the postseason. As there is ball 4, and he's down to first base. Second walk given up by Daisuke.
Most walks he's given up in a game is 3, and that was against Toronto in 6 innings up in the Rogers Center.
Here's Giambi, who singled to left field his first time up. Combination of Jeter and Giambi, 5 for 10. The rest of the team 5 for 21 against Daisuke. A shift on for Giambi. He singled to left his first time up, one of only 2 hits off Daisuke. Rodriguez bluffed at first and now retreats to the bag. Second time tonight the Yankees have had the lead runner on. Giambi on with a single in the second. He didn't advance. Ahead of the count, 2-0.
I think one thing Daisuke will learn is that there's more between pitch noise in this ballpark than any place in the big leagues. It's constant noise.
10 pitches in the inning, 7 balls. Giambi taken all the way, and he takes ball 4. So back-to-back walks all of a sudden for Daisuke Matsuzaka.
After the walk to A-Rod on a high breaking ball, the sequence of pitches to Giambi, missing with the cut fastball away. Tries a curveball that is not a strike. Up with the fastball, then up again with the fastball. None of those pitches really close to being strikes.
Well, you want noise, they got noise. Known as Godzilla in Japan, known as Godzilla in New York. Here is Hideki Matsui. In a first and second nobody out situation. Slicing it foul to the left.
First pitch fastball challenging Matsui. Matsui just a little bit tardy on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Daisuke won the first battle, got Matsui to fly to center. Not close, and it's 1-1.
And a lot of pitches up high this inning from Matsuzaka.
He has walked Alex Rodriguez. He has walked Jason Giambi. Now a count of 1-1 to Hideki Matsui. Ball 2, 2-1. 5 walks have come in the 4th inning this season, the most of any inning. As he makes his way through generally the order for the second time. His walk high is 3, did that at Toronto. And has tied it tonight. The strike, and it's 2-2.
Well, it took a long time for Runge to call that. Still hasn't called it.
Not really. I thought McClellan was the slowest of the strike calls, but Brian Runge's right there with him. Posada waiting on deck. This is a very late swing. And sharply back into the seats.
It looked like Matsui there was expecting something off speed from Matsuzaka, and he was very defensive with his swing just to foul it off and have another pitch to look at. But it's almost like he was expecting some type of breaking ball, a changeup.
A-Rod at second, Giambi at first, nobody out. Matsui sends it foul, right down by the shoe tops. Now, these two have met in Japan in the past. This is Daisuke enjoying an 8-year standout career. The Seibu Lions, the Nippon Professional Baseball, piled a record of 108-60 with a 2.95 ERA in 204 games. And at least 14 wins 6 times. And matching up with fellow countryman Hideki Matsui tonight at Yankee Stadium. In the dirt and a full count.
Now, well, Joe Torre had the runners going. Might be a little bit dangerous. Left-hander at the plate.
Daisuke thinking it over behind the hill.
Yankee fans doing what they can to rattle Matsuzaka.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium, Daisuke Matsuzaka. Runners go. Outside ball four. He walks in. 3 consecutive walks to begin things in the fourth.
And a 3-2 changeup it looked like. So right now Matsuzaka having a tough time finding the strike zone with any one of his pitches. His fastball, his curveball, his slider, and now the changeup. And the runners were going 3-2, trying to put some pressure on Daisuke.
This happened April 17th as well. He walked 3 in an inning against Toronto. He's done it tonight on a much larger stage. Bases loaded for Jorge Posada.
He's a little flustered out there right now. Bases loaded. He looked back to Lugo to see who was covering second on a double play. No, you get a ground ball, you go home with it.
He's going to back off and try to get it together.
Lugo pointed, no, you're going to go home if you get a ground ball.
The breaking ball in there for a strike. Seven grand slams for Posada in his career, .310 average. With the bases loaded. A-Rod at third, Giambi at second, Matsui at first. Did he go? They'll check. No, says Mike Winters.
This is what I was talking about with Daisuke with the bases loaded. Maybe a little flustered after the 3 walks. He's seeing who's covering second. He's pointing to Lugo or Pedroia. Pedroia said, no, you're going home with the ball if you get it. Go for the 1-2-3 double play.
This inning has been a lot of work. The 1-1. Bloop back to third, short left. Manny coming hard. He will dive and not get it. A-Rod had to wait. He breaks now for the plate and scores. The Yankees are on the board.
Fastball here to Posada, just kind of bloops it down that left field line. And Manny makes a heck of an effort on this. He'll go into the slide, but he'll clearly trap the ball. And unfortunately for the Red Sox, that ball didn't get by him. I mean, nothing wrong with the effort by Ramirez. He took a good route to the ball, just couldn't get there in time.
The light bank, I think, has gone down as Posada pointing up to it. It did seem to get darker there all of a sudden, a shadow. Some of the players looking up, it either kind of flickered or went out.
Yeah, whatever it is, it doesn't look like it's had an effect on the field at all.
Definitely got a little darker down the left field line. But they play on. Cano takes ball 1. A lot of work in this inning for Matsuzaka. So far, 23 pitches, the 3 straight walks, and the RBI base hit for Posada. Still without a recorded out. Swing and a miss. Got that one by Cano at 93. Cano struck out in the second inning. swing and a miss.
Last time with 2 strikes against Cano, they went upstairs with a high fastball. J.C. Romero loosing in the Red Sox bullpen.
One and 2 to Robinson Cano. Bases loaded, nobody out. They elevate, and it evens at 2 and 2.
Second inning, when Cano was at the plate, the high fastball for the strikeout. He chases it. He did not chase the last one.
Farrell looks out at his starter, who is rattled here at the moment, trying to settle in and find his bearings. Cano will slap it foul off to the left. We saw that brief spell of being rattled earlier this season. Mentioned the outing at Toronto in which he'd walked 3 in the 4th inning. He's walked 3 in his 4th inning and given up the base hit that has driven in the Yankees' first run. But in that outing, he came back to strike out the side and settled down. Did find his bearings last time. This time trying to get out of a mess in the 4th and preserve the 1-run lead. Now Veritek out to talk with him. Terry Francona was talking today about Jason Veritek having some different things that he keeps on his wrist, some key words that will help him in communicating with Daisuke. But didn't go to the wrist that time, just went out and talked with him with what he could. The language barrier is certainly an issue, but for the most part, Jason said it hasn't been.
Right now the issue is the Yankees with the bases loaded.
Giambi at third, Matsui at second, Posada at first. Cano with a swing and a miss. And a big strikeout for Daisuke.
That's a beautiful pitch. That's the changeup from Daisuke. And you know, he has Cano thinking about the high fastball. That's how he struck him out in the second inning. That's how he tried to get him a couple of pitches earlier with the high fastball. So Cano's thinking about something above the belt. Instead, he gets the changeup down low. Perfect pitch by Matsuzaka. Even though it wasn't a strike, for a hitter, that's a tough pitch to lay off.
So the first out of the inning. And now Doug Mankiewicz bats. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Slices it foul off to the left.
You know, one thing I questioned, Don, in the first few outings I've seen Matsuzaka pitch, and I don't think he's used that changeup enough, to be honest with you. You know, I've seen a lot of sliders from him, cut fastballs, straight fastballs, a couple of curveballs. He's thrown an occasional changeup, but not as many as I thought he would. I mean, that's a great changeup.
Popped up from third comes Lowell. Another big out for Daisuke, and there's 2 down.
Got that one coming on a cut fastball. Mankiewicz hearing the boos from the Yankee crowd. You see the little spin on this fastball? That's to Cutter. And straight up in the air for Mankiewicz to Lowell. So 1 out away from getting out of a big pile of trouble.
Johnny Damon has struck out looking and walked. Getting his 3rd look tonight at Daisuke Matsuzaka. Grounds it foul. Johnny has been an incredible hitter with the bases loaded in his career. Over 400, but so far this season is 0 for 3. Knock it away to Damon. Jeter waits on deck. Daisuke's pitch count reaching 74 pitches. Earning some more time as he goes off the backside to work on the cleats. Giambi at third, Matsui at second, Posada at first, 2 down. Two and one. I think Johnny may have ruined someone's camera. A foul ball a couple of moments ago on the first pitch. Outside, 3-1 to Damon. No place to put him. Daisuke for the first 3 through 42 pitches. This will be pitch number 35 of the inning. Damon sends one foul, and it's a full count. Runners will be in motion. Bases filled with the Yankees, 2 down. Damon lifts it to right. Drew coming on. It'll fall for a hit. From third comes Giambi. Behind him is Matsui. The Yankees take the lead.
That was like a half a swing by Johnny Damon. That's why Damon's been so productive with the bases loaded in his career. A changeup, it looked like, from Matsuzaka. Damon with almost a half swing and just punches it in front of J.D. Drew. Yep, it's the changeup. And look at Damon. I mean, not even a complete swing. He was fooled by the pitch, but he still makes contact and drops it in front of Drew.
He may not have liked the swing, but he certainly liked the result.
Yep.
So New York on top now, 3-2. All 3 walks that Daisuke allowed have come around to score. Jeter swings through a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. On the ground through the vacated right side. From third comes Posada. It's a 4-2 Yankees lead. Ball bobbled in right, so Damon takes third.
Derek Jeter just reaching out and punching a cut fastball from Matsuzaka to the opposite field. Veritek set up a way. They get the pitch away, but again, just going the other way with the cutter. And then, as you mentioned, on that bobble by J.D. Drew, and Damon moves out of third base. He was going to stop at second. There's the bobble, and that'll be the second error for J.D. Drew on the season.
Ninth man to bat in the inning for New York. And it's Bobby Abreu, who has struck out, grounded into a double play.
Now, this has been a very strange inning. I mean, Matsuzaka really kind of sailing along in those first three innings. Looked very sharp. Good location with his pitches. All of a sudden, he comes out in the fourth and walks three straight guys. Almost got out of the jam after back-to-back outs, but a half swing by Damon and opposite field by Jeter.
40th pitch of the inning. And it's ball 2, 2-0.
You go back and you look at the Posada base hit. That was just a little slice bloop to the opposite field, too. But the thing that killed in this inning, the 3 walks. This is the first hit to drive in a run. Posada that going down that left field line. Good effort by Manny, but couldn't get to it.
Popped up. Into the left, shallow. Ramirez makes the catch that ends the inning, but the Yankees score 4 times in the inning to take a 4-2 lead. 4-2, the Yankees on top now as Dustin Pedroia leads it off. A long wait for Andy Pettitte. A 32-minute wait. As the Red Sox see the Yankees score 4 times. The 3 walks in a row to begin the inning by Matsuzaka. They all score. As trying to bunt his way on as Pedroia sends it foul.
Take a look at the hits against Daisuke in the 4th inning. None of them really scorched. The fly ball that drops in front of Manny Ramirez. A half swing by Johnny Damon. And then Jeter with a pretty good swing here to get a base hit. But it's not the hits. It was the walks that got him in trouble. The 3 walks to start the inning. And that's an awful tough hole to dig out of, especially against this lineup. You walk 3 guys in a row, you're going to pay for it.
Well, meanwhile, Pettitte has retired 6 batters in a row after the 2-run home run by Kevin Youkilis in the 3rd.
FW Webb is proud to be official supplier of plumbing, heating, and cooling supplies for the Boston Red Sox. To learn more about how FW Webb can help you, contact your local professional contractor or visit fwweb.com. FW Webb, we've got it.
Pettitte ready with an 0-2 pitch to Pedroia. Well, Dustin lining out to right field, and Bobby Abreu his first time up. Pettitte with 4 strikeouts and a walk through the first 4 innings. Again to right. Abreu having to go back further this time, but again he's there to make the out on Pedroia. The Red Sox Player of the Week is brought to you by your Kia dealers. This week it's Hideki Okajima. 4 games, a 0.00 ERA, 3 innings pitched, 1 save. He struck out 4. And of course the very impressive outing in the first game of that series against the Yankees when Papelbon was unavailable. He finished it off and really set the tone for the sweeping of the New York Yankees at Fenway last weekend. Now Julio Lugo. Lugo is grounded to short and singled to right field. Quickly down 0-2. Looking on Jason Varitek's cleats. Rained here a long time today, but the field was mostly covered. It's not to rain since the game started. Outside 1-2. Well, Andy Pettitte away from the Yankees for 3 seasons. After some extremely good years when New York was a 21-game winner back in 1996 with the Yankees when he went 21-8. Slap foul off to the right. And of course, his career beginning as a New York Yankee, a 22nd round pick back in 1990. And broke into the majors with the Yankees in 1995. Stayed here through the 2003 season. Or signing as a free agent with the Astros for the last 3 years, but now back in New York. He's a 21-8 record in 2003 as well, twice a 21-game winner. And very good in the postseason as well. And so far, the most reliable start of the season for Joe Torre. Full count now to Lugo.
Here's one of those times too for Yankee fans. You want to see Pettitte 1-2-3 the Red Sox get him back in the dugout, get that offense back up. Especially when they get Daisuke a little bit shaky out there right now.
And a walk to Lugo. So the second walk given up by Pettitte tonight.
Tonight, following Red Sox coverage, stay with Nesson for Sports Desk with Catherine Tappan, presented by FW Webb. Homer and Frank Webb's Bat Centers. Among the topics tonight, the Patriots are preparing for tomorrow's day 1 of the NFL draft, and former BC baseball and now Virginia Tech manager discussing the tragedy in Blacksburg and returning to Boston. That's Sports Desk with Catherine Tappan tonight, following Red Sox coverage, live in HD only on Nesson.
Red Sox have a 1-out base runner for Kevin Youkilis. And a 2-run home run his last time up. As it's the time call from Brian Runge. In the dirt and gathered by Posada.
That's Posada last weekend with that bruised thumb. Took him out of the lineup for a couple of games against the Red Sox.
Runner goes. The pitch is a strike and no throw from Posada. So Lugo continues to be perfect as he steals second base.
You know, one approach you take against Andy Pettitte is you gamble. Okay, first move that he makes, you take off because you can't read his move. So if you can do that and you're lucky and he goes to home plate, you steal it easy because it takes a long time to get the ball home. I think that's what Lugo was doing there, just guessing. He took off and picks up the stolen base.
Now Youkilis, left side diving Jeter off the glove and into left. And Lugo to third on the base hit for Youkilis. So Youkilis has been on base 3 times tonight.
The walk, the home run, now the base hit by the dive of Jeter. Jeter gets a glove on it but can't knock it down, and that's why Lugo can move on to third base. Actually just deflected it with the thumb of his glove.
So first and third, 1 down. Ortiz 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out in the first inning, grounded out to second base in the third inning. To center field and in for a hit. From third base comes Lugo, and the Red Sox back within a run.
And this is exactly what the Red Sox wanted to do. Sounded like a broken bat from David Ortiz. It is the cut fastball from Pettit, but Ortiz has had great numbers against Andy Pettit. Right toward the end of the bat, picks up the base hit. 20 RBI now for Ortiz on the season.
Well, Pettit had the long wait coming into this inning, some 32 minutes. Well, his team came up with 4 runs. He's given up his 3rd run of his outing. And 1 out here in the 5th. Ron Guidry has been to the mound to talk with him. Youkilis at second, Ortiz at first for Manning.
Change up, Don. That's a pitch that Pettit would go to at Fenway, and he had some success with it, getting some ground balls. Manny laid off that changeup that was away.
In the dirt, 2-0. Pettit has struck out 4. He's walked 2. One of them coming in this inning, and that walk turned into a run. He walked Lugo, who's coming around with the 3rd Red Sox run. Ball 3, and it's 3-0.
Manny very seldom swings 3-0, but I'd let him go here. He doesn't even look for a sign. I'm sure there are times Francona would like to see him swing 3-0.
He's had 2 chances at 3-0 this year and has not yet swung. And does not this time. It takes ball 4.
Stay tuned after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings with Granite City Electric. Extra Innings Extra with Tom, Karen, and Dennis Eckersy. They'll bring you Daisuke and Matsuzaka's live post-game press conference plus reaction to Game 1 of this weekend series from both clubhouses. It's all right after the game in high def on NESN.
Bases loaded for Boston with 1 down. Youkilis at 3rd, Ortiz at 2nd, and Ramirez at 1st. Through with a swing and a miss. Drew was grounded out to 1st and fly to right. 0 for 2 tonight against Andy Pettit. In the dirt, and Posada with a nice play. Able to block it. Ball and a strike now to Drew.
This ball in the dirt, Posada going down, and nothing on his mind but blocking that pitch. Didn't try to catch it. Take it against the chest protected, deaden it, and leave everybody at their bases.
The strike that time, and it's 1-2.
Pettit got away with one there too, because Posada wants this ball away. It stays inside, and that's a good pitch for a left-handed hitter to hit. J.D. Drew would like to have that one back again. Look at Posada. He wants that cutter out here, and it stays in this area.
So it is 1-2 to J.D. Drew. Ron Guidry, Joe Torre. Headed ahead 1-2 to J.D. Drew. Swing and a miss. Drew strikes out. That's a big strikeout for Andy Pettit.
Yeah, he missed his pitch. You know, he froze on his pitch, which was the one previous to this.
Kicks off Posada, but not far enough for Youkilis to try it.
Posada has got much better as he's got older as a defensive catcher. When he first came to the big leagues, not real good at blocking pitches in the dirt. Had a lot of pass balls, but it's something he's worked on. Still not maybe the best in the league, but much better than he was when he broke in.
It's off Posada, and it's 3-0. So Pettit's got himself in a hole here. Bases loaded with 2 outs, and he's behind Lowell 3-0. There's a strike with Lowell taken all the way. 3-1.
Posada and Pettit this inning not on the same page.
Through the signs once again. And Pettit finally agreeing. The 3-1. Ball 4, he walks in, and the game is tied. From third comes Youkilis. Pettit walks in a run.
Well, the 5th inning has been a bad control inning for pitches. Actually, the 4th for Daisuke, walking 3 in a row. And now Pettit here in the 5th with 3 walks in this inning, and the last one to bring in a run.
About to throw his 30th pitch of the inning and his 95th of his outing. So the pitch count rising for Pettit as he deals with Veritek. Takes the breaking ball for strike 1.
There is action too out in the Yankee bullpen. And who else?
Scott Proctor.
Scott Proctor.
Jason Veritek has had his problems tonight with Andy Pettit striking out twice, both times swinging. And he straightens him up this time. Well, last week Jason Veritek able to get to Andy Pettit with a home run. The opposite field shot into the bullpen. As part of the Red Sox victory on Friday night. Gets through Posada from third base comes Ortiz. He will score and the Red Sox take the lead.
Now that looked more like Posada when he was a younger player. He did not get down on this ball at all. He knows it's going to be in the dirt, but it looks like he tries to catch it. And it gets right through the 5-hole. See the glove come up? So after doing a very good job of blocking a lot of pitches at this at bat, not a good effort there by Posada.
So it allows Ortiz to score and give the Red Sox the lead. The pitch up and away now to Veritek.
How did they rule that?
They have not, as far as we know.
They did give it a wild pitch, which it did bounce, but it certainly was one that Posada could have blocked.
Second and third. 2 outs. A 3-run 5th inning so far for Boston. Well, they've been going back and forth quite a bit this inning, and now we'll talk face to face. The Yankees scored 4 times in the bottom of the 4th inning to pull ahead 4-2. Andy Pettitte has given it right back here in the 5th, and then another. With the Red Sox on top now 5-4. He's run his pitch count up. This pitch will be the 100th of the night for the left-hander.
Yep, Torrey knows his bullpen's going to be in the game probably in the 6th inning, if not earlier.
As it has been all year. Varitek with a swing and a miss, according to Posada, but Varitek got a piece.
Now the ball came back and hit Varitek, but it hit him while he was in the batter's box. Ball bouncing up and hitting the left thigh of Varitek while he's still in the box. Posada's going to tag him just in case.
So we'll do it again at 3-2. First base open. On the ground, foul. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Jason Varitek. You having trouble seeing him or not?
Yeah, it almost looked like you're saying I'm having trouble seeing the signs.
And then Posada wearing weight on the fingertips like a lot of catchers do. So he's got some tape on there or nail polish. Tough to tell. 3-2. Ball 4. He walks in. That is the 4th walk of the inning given up by Andy Pettitte, and here comes Joe Torre. So the long wait coming into the inning, and a very tough inning for Andy Pettitte. As Torre will go to get him, he has reached the 100-pitch plateau on the night. And departs trailing in this one 5-4. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local Ford store. Every journey begins with a bold move. Start your journey today by visiting your local Ford store. New pitcher when we come back to Yankee Stadium. He's done the same thing twice. That's fly to right. Both times Bobby Abreu back there to make the catch. On the ground as to his left moves Jeter to throw out Pedroia for the first out of the inning, and we check back in with Tina Cervasio.
Don, earlier we saw Julio Lugo take off for a steal in the 5th inning. I was talking to first base coach Luis Alicea this week, not about, of course, how fast Lugo is, but why he is a good base stealer. And he said that Lugo might be the one guy in this league who immediately goes into full speed. It doesn't take him time to pick up speed. He just leaves the bag, and he's immediately at full speed. He goes 0 to 60 in a split second, just like Jerry Remy back in his heyday.
Jerry will have something to say once he finishes the dog to left field. Back, and it is gone. A home run.
Lugo has to retag first.
Julio Lugo, his first home run in a Red Sox uniform, and it puts the Red Sox on top 6-4.
Quite a night for Lugo. The base hit, a walk, a steal, and now the home run, kind of a line drive home run, as Susan James likes that result. I think Lugo, I don't know if he tripped over first base or he was stunned that the ball went out of the ballpark, but he had to go back and re-tag. Line drive, he's running hard. He's not sure it's going to get out of the ballpark now. For some reason, after he rounded first, he went back and re-tagged it. Let's see. Looks down. Yeah, he got it for the first time. But just to be sure, seeing it was a home run, he goes back and gets it again.
So Julio Lugo has put the Red Sox on top 6-4. As Youkilis, who homered earlier, sends one foul off to the right.
By the way, Tina, thank you very much for that compliment, but I can't even remember how to steal a base.
Well, that's what I heard. I heard you were fast, Jerry. So, you know, and I know you're still always trying to steal some bases every so often now. I see it in position, ready to go.
I'm still fast getting out of the ballpark after a game, that's for sure.
Keep using those skills.
You know, Ricky Henderson was very much, well, greatest base stealer ever. And, you know, when he had that crossover step, he was like a sprinter coming out of blocks. You know, he just was at full speed right away. Strong, strong legs.
And Kavich over by the tarp, leaning in, but can't get it, and then falls into the well. And Kavich all right.
Jumping over the fence there, timing it, but couldn't get to the baseball. And last week at Fenway Park, making the catch as he goes into the stands. That was on that Saturday ball game on Fox. Where the Red Sox and Yankees will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
The 1-2 pitch to Youkilis is sent foul back and above us into the top deck. Well, the Red Sox and the Yankees playing late day baseball tomorrow afternoon, and then we're back with you on Sunday as they wrap up this 3-game series with New York. It'll be Tim Wakefield here tomorrow afternoon, 2-2 against Jeff Karsten's 0-1. And then on Sunday, Julian Tavares against Chin-Ming Wong.
See, I think you see the state of the Yankee pitching. A great example, I think, in this game. It's only the 6th inning. But with the game close, he has to go to Proctor at this stage of the game. He doesn't want to use Proctor now. Proctor's a guy that he wants in the 7th, 8th inning leading up to Mariano Rivera. But, you know, because the Red Sox have been scoring some runs, had the big inning of 5th, he's got to go to him now, and that just messes everything up out there for him.
In the air to right center field. Damon is over and makes the catch. Well, the inability of the starters to get past the 5th or 6th innings has really been a problem all year long. And Torrey hopping out of the dugout, in fact, to 6 or more innings has only happened 6 of 21 games this season. Proctor was able to get the last out of the 5th. And the first 2 outs of this inning mixed between the home run by Lugo and Proctor done for the night. Sean Henn will be coming on as it is a 6-4 Red Sox lead. 7-4 Boston on top as we head to the top half of the 9th inning. And Mariano Rivera on for the Yankees.
It's hard to believe that you're in the end of April and Rivera does not have a save yet on the season. Only 7 appearances, a 1-2 record. You see the career games, 75 games against the Red Sox, 35 saves and 46 opportunities. And, you know, a lot of it's been asked, well, why do the Red Sox have so much success against Rivera? They see him a lot. They see him probably more than anybody else.
Well, he last pitched on Monday, trying to get him some work here tonight in obviously a non-save situation. And he hasn't had a lot of those anyway, blowing 2 saves on the year. And a walk-off home run, Marco Scutaro, the Oakland A's. And of course the Red Sox getting him to him for the other blown save. Drew, Lowell, and Varitek expected here in the 9th. JD looking for his first hit of the night. He's grounded out twice, fly to right, and struck out.
Only team that Rivera has faced more than the Red Sox, the Baltimore Orioles, has 82 appearances against Baltimore. But you got to remember also all those postseason games the Red Sox have played.
Struck him out in very quick fashion. Drew is gone.
Well, last Friday night at Fenway Park, Rivera in a very tough night. That pitch up in the zone, Varitek. Coco Crisp with a cutter down that first base line. And a Of course, we had Alex Cora with a bloop base hit in that ball game, also off Rivera with the drawn in infield.
Mike Lowell looking to extend his hitting streak as he bats here with 1 out in the 9th. Nick does not have a hit in the game tonight, and riding a 12-game hitting streak coming in. Does have an RBI as he walked with the bases loaded back in the 5th inning, part of a 3-run 5th for Boston. Inside again, and it's 3-1 now to Lowell. The Red Sox right now 7-3 in a 13 consecutive game stretch against exclusively the American League East. Softly lined into right field, and Lowell extends the hitting streak. Well, after 4 at-bats not getting a hit, Lowell with a base hit here in the top of the 9th inning extends it to 13 straight games.
He did have a walk with the bases loaded back in the 5th inning, and what the Red Sox hope is his last at-bat picks up that base hit to go to 13.
Well, last night he extended the hitting streak in his last at-bat and did it in the 8th inning. In Baltimore against the Orioles. There's Jason Varitek, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. Well, so far, very good work from the Red Sox bullpen again tonight. Timlin going an inning, allowing no runs. The same for Hideki Okajima. Red Sox relievers have compiled a 1.11 ERA over the last 14 games. And will do nothing to damage that so far tonight. Full throw picked out by Mankiewicz. It would have been hit for if the inning had continued last inning. Phelps was coming in, but where he didn't bat, Mankiewicz goes back to first. Outside, 2-0. Red Sox with the lowest earned run average in relief in the American League at 2.41 coming into tonight's game. That's the 3rd best mark in the majors behind the Mets and the Padres. And a swing and a miss. And it's 2-1.
That's that famous cut fastball from Rivera. That one really moved quite a bit on Jason Varitek.
Into center field, a base hit. And over comes Damon to play it, but it's 1st and 2nd with 1 down. And Red Sox got something going against Rivera here in the 9th.
Well, you see Rivera not able to be consistent. They wanted to go away with this cut fastball, but it got a lot of home plate. After getting him down and in on one, they try to go outside corner, and Varitek with the hit up the middle. I would think it'd have to be very tough for Rivera to stay sharp with the limited amount of work that he's had in non-safe situations he's been in. That adrenaline doesn't pump quite as hard in these situations as when he's out there with a 1 or 2 run lead.
It is truly amazing that he has not got a save at this stage of the season. Crisp lines it into right center field, a base hit. Lowell being waved around. The throw goes to 2nd as Varitek goes to 3rd. The Red Sox take an 8-4 lead.
You know, it's so strange, Don. I mean, Rivera made it look easy against J.D. Drew with a number of low fastballs, and then since that time, Lowell with the base hit, a bad pitch to Veritek, and now Coco Crisp gets the cut fastball that's out over the plate. So he's just having a lot of trouble consistently finding his spots.
Well, the Red Sox looking for more, now on top by 4 as Dustin Pedroia stands in. He doubled in the 8th inning and scored off Luis Vizcaino.
He wanted to go Crisp.
Ooh, almost got him.
He was leaning towards second base, and the longer Rivera held the ball, the more he was leaning and had that weight on his right foot, and then almost stumbled getting back to the bag. Almost got pushed off the bag with the tag.
Veritek at third, Crisp at first with 1 out. Red Sox adding a run here in the 9th inning.
Just give you an idea of the struggles Rivera's had. Last April was his highest ERA he'd ever had in April. That was a 3.72. This April, as we stand right now, 8.10.
Ball high, and it's now 2-0. Rivera ended up with a total of 34 saves last year. Highest total of saves in any season at 53 saves back in 2004. That one drops in there for strike 2 and 1. Rivera striking out J.D. Drew to begin the inning. And then the single by Lowell, single by Veritek, and the single by Crisp to drive in a run. And it's the Red Sox on top 8, 4 runners at first and third. Another check, and they almost got him again leading in the wrong direction.
That's almost a gimme for Crisp. You know, I mean, the game's not out of hand. It's only a 4-run lead. And he knows that if he can get a good jump off Rivera, because Rivera's slow to the plate, he can pick up a steal. But Rivera, aware of that, makes a number of throws to first base. I think Mo's been hanging out with Vizcaino.
Inside, Pedroia ducking back out of the way. And the next pitch will be the 20th of the inning for Mariano Rivera as Josh Beckett looks on. Luckett not pitching in the series this time. It'll be Tim Wakefield tomorrow and Julian Tavares on Sunday. And Chris Beckett with the victory, now 5-0 on the season. He's able to beat the Orioles in the second time he's ever faced Baltimore. There goes Crisp. Finally, it's a swing and a miss for Pedroia. The throw is high, and Crisp able to steal second base.
So I was talking about, Don, you know, a lot of closes, most of them you can get good jumps on, and it's just a matter of time. Chris picking the right pitch, and when Mo didn't throw to first base, and it really no problem at all stealing this base at second. So Coco with a steal tonight picks up his third.
Should include Papelbon on that list too, as a guy you can steal on.
Sure.
Infield in all the way around now for the Yankees with one out in the ninth. And it's ball four to Pedroia and to first base. Fourth straight batter to reach, and this will bring, I was going to say Guidry, but it looks like Torrey coming up.
Yeah, he's making a move, and you know, this is not what he had hoped for. He hoped to get Rivera in for a nice little clean inning to maybe get some confidence back. And ends up being a disaster for him, so the questions still continue for him.
So the pitching change. It's an 8-4 Red Sox lead in the top of the ninth inning. People were talking to me. I didn't hear what you were talking about.
Oh, thanks for listening, Don. Never mind. But the problems continue for Rivera. Third of an inning. 3 hits allowed, a run, 21 pitches for Mariano Rivera. And of course Mike Myers coming on for the 14th time this season. 10 innings, 5 hits allowed, a couple of earned runs. He has walked 5 and struck out 4.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't
too late.
No, it wasn't that important.
The moment is gone.
I was just curious if this was a Red Sox destination weekend in New York.
Oh. I didn't know the answer anyway, even though I've heard it now.
Okay, just throwing something out there.
One out. Bases loaded for the Red Sox. And it's strike one to Julio Lugo. He's had a very nice night. With 3 hits and a walk, his first home run in a Red Sox uniform.
Well, the excitement that was here to start the game, this crowd has thinned out just a bit.
55,005 here at one point tonight. Most have ducked out.
As we roll on to another Red Sox Yankee classic of a 4-hour game.
Papelbon is still throwing, but I think we're more likely to see Pinheiro. You think maybe get some work for Papelbon?
We'll see. You know, when he gets Papelbon up, he likes to bring him in. But the point is, if the Red Sox continue this and score a few more runs, and I don't think he will.
I think you'd want to save him for the last 2 games of this series. Slow grounder that is foul.
Now Lugo got a chance to put a real capper on a great night for him already.
Myers throwing 2 innings in the game last night. Very long for him. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. And now brought back into this one as he misses inside. Season high 2 scoreless innings for him. He allowed 3 hits and a walk as part of the loss to the Blue Jays last night. Faced only 1 batter on Tuesday. And that was allowing the grand slam to Carl Crawford and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Took the loss against the Red Sox, also one of the losses last weekend. One and 2 the count to Julio Lugo. crowds at foul. Mostly Red Sox fans are here right now. Yankees fans are having trouble drowning out the chant. Two and two the count. Bases filled with Red Sox here in the ninth. And a full count. There's still just one out in the inning. And Kevin Youkilis waiting on deck. That one out came to the first batter that Mariano Rivera faced. And J.D. Drew, he struck him out since then. 3 straight hits and a walk for the Red Sox. Ball 4, making another walk. And a run comes in from third. Red Sox lead at 9-4 as Veritek will score.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to read the New York papers tomorrow morning, because this streak that they're in right now has been dreadful, and this pitching has been dreadful.
Here's Kevin Youkilis. There's a strike to Youkilis. Beginning of the day, the Yankees had lost 6 in a row. And start the season at 8-12. And in last place to begin the day. Tampa Bay, Baltimore. Swing sent foul off to the right. The Red Sox enjoying their earliest and biggest lead since 1995. They top the division. On the ground right side, ranging is Cano. Will fire to first, and in from third base scoring. There's David Ortiz with 2 outs, runners at second and third. It's been a 3-run ninth. Ortiz against Myers, 11 for 49. At 224 in his career, has 3 home runs off Mike Myers. And he waits on deck. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Ortiz, the 8th man to bat. On the ground and through into left field, a base hit. Pedroia scores. Lugo stopping at third base as the Red Sox grab another run.
Right now, Myers can't get Ortiz out, and that kind of started last year, didn't it, at Fenway Park? I mean, he's a specialist against lefties and just not getting the job done. Crawford got him for that grand slam down in Tampa Bay. Ortiz has had success against him.
That was one of the things that Terry Francona talked about when Myers left the Red Sox and ended up with the Yankees. Was it was kind of tough to carry a guy who was just a one batter and out type situation.
Yeah, you compare him to, for example, Okajima. Okajima is a guy that you can pitch against left-handers and right-handers because he has that over-the-top splitter and the curveball. Myers, basically, you know, that submarine-style delivery, which is usually effective against lefties, but
it's first and third now with 2 down. And then he had a single back in the first inning. On the ground this time to Jeter. He'll go the easy way to second to end the inning. The Red Sox add 4 runs in the ninth and take an 11-4 lead to the bottom of the ninth. Half of the ninth inning, it's 11-4. The Red Sox on top, and the new pitcher for Boston, 4th of the night. Here's Joel Pinheiro.
10th appearance for Pinheiro. His last outing coming against Toronto on the 24th. 2 innings in that game, 3 hits allowed, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. 11 career games against the Yankees. 8 of those starts. A 2-3 record.
We're here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, and Tina Cervasio bringing you Boston Red Sox baseball in high definition on NESN. The Red Sox adding on to their lead with 4 runs in the top of the 9th.
No, there is a story behind that in the Bronx thing. A couple of years ago, after the Red Sox won the championship, right, we opened up, didn't we, the following year here in Yankee Stadium?
Right here at Yankee Stadium.
So we were trying to hype that, opening day, the Yankees, and you had to do some promos for it, and they wanted you to say, in the Bronx. And you couldn't quite get the...
Russ Kennar, great producer, had done a beautiful tease, of course, last year, finishing it up and going into the next season. And he needed me to get into character and really, bring the drama to a fever pitch in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
And I just wasn't capturing it. Some 19 tries later, I think we finally got. I still think he was disappointed with the end result, but Pinheiro strikes out Minkevich.
Minkevich is disappointed with that end result too.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx. So 1 away. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Johnny Damie Melky Cabrera. And he's going to bat here in the 9th.
It's amazing how bad pitching can just suck the life out of a ball game, doesn't it? I mean, it's, you really, when this ball game started, Pettit, Daisuke, good first couple of innings, and then all of a sudden Pettit starts to lose it. On comes the bullpen, and it is so frustrating when you have to play behind those type of performances. It really is, and this man right now is going to be scratching his head saying, how are we going to fix this thing? The thing that impressed me tonight about Matsuzaka is the 6th and 7th, the 5th and 6th, after he gave up those 4 runs on the 3 walks, then the hits, to bounce back and have back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings and shut him down after that, because it looked like he was losing his cool again for that 1 inning.
Cabrera drawing the walk. Well, the Red Sox were hopeful that Daisuke Matsuzaka would bring them many wins against the Yankees, and here tonight he will likely pick up his 2nd win in 2 tries.
And you know something, Don, I mentioned this in the open, and I really believe this, that I think now that he's got these first few starts out of the way, the first start, the Fenway home opener, the first Yankee game, the first game at Yankee Stadium. Now I think he can settle down into the season, and there might not be as much surrounding him as maybe there has been for these starts, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier for him.
He's taking care of a lot of those firsts.
Yeah, it's been a lot, on his plate the first month of the season.
Derek Jeter with 3 hits, reached on an error, has been on base 4 times tonight. I wonder, as we are watching this for the first time, of course the Yankees have dealt with it with Matsui, the Mariners with Ichiro. Wonder if it lessens throughout the year.
I think it will. I really do. Maybe not so much in the first year, but as time goes on. But I think as the year goes on, it will a little bit. I mean, for crying out loud, how many pitches can you have of him coming out of a dugout, or walking to the ballpark, or running in the outfield, or playing catch?
Well, there's got to be interest, because otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
Oh, there's plenty of interest. There's no question about that.
This one tapped foul, and it's 2-2.
Now, we have not seen, because our part of the job is over when the game is over, but the press conference that he holds after the game, that's something that TC and Eck have to sit through. I imagine that must take a while, too, with the translation going back and forth.
Watched a little bit of that in spring training when he would do his from the tent after going. We had that sometimes during games. There is some extra time. Breaking ball fouled off. Still 2-2. Well, tomorrow will be Tim Wakefield matched up against Jeff Karstens. Wakefield 2-2. Karstens 0-1, and that's another situation for the Yankees right now.
How about that guy, huh? Wakefield, the way he's got off for a start this year.
Yeah, Wake, 2.08 earned run average. In center field. Right to Coco Crisp, and there's 2 down.
Now Wakefield will get his day in the sun on national TV tomorrow. Missed that series last weekend in Boston against the Yankees.
Two down for Bobby Abreu.
And the sun's supposed to be out here tomorrow in New York. Maybe a shower in the afternoon, but I think the weather's supposed to improve over the weekend. Sunday's supposed to be a very nice day.
We'll be back with you on Sunday afternoon. Julian Tavares, Chin-Ming Wong. What I started to say was that we talked a little bit about it earlier. Jeff Carson starting tomorrow. That would be normally Kei Egawa's day, and he is right now. They're trying to figure out what to do with him. There's some thought that he may go back to the minor leagues and try to figure it out, but he has been lifted from the rotation for now. This one tap back to the mound. Pinheiro fires to first, and the Red Sox win. Well, they've won them all so far against the Yankees this season, and Daisuke has got 2 of those victories as the Red Sox tonight win it 11-4.